Well, all right!
Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world-famous As It Should Be studios. Well, all right, it's Crystal in the world-famous As It Should Be studios. Crystal Durant and Tommy Von Voigt in the world-famous As It Should Be studios.
Yeah.
And to all of this we say, whatever.
Whatever.
That's right, because the 90s, we're going to be doing our favorite theme songs of the 90s, the super 90s.
Oh, yeah. 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and, well, you're a lucky man. You get to start, Tommy.
Starts.
I do.
You get to start.
Alrighty. The 90s is an interesting decade in many ways. One of the things that's notable for me about the 90s, it's kind of the decade that I stopped basically watching network television.
Oh, yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say it was probably around the middle of the decade, coinciding about with the time I ended up moving down to Florida. I just kind of fell off. I fell off of sitcoms. They stopped interesting me.
Yeah.
They started seeming cornier and cornier.
Yeah.
How old were you in 1995?
1995, I was 17. Yeah. And by the end of the decade, I think I like had one of those aha moments we sometimes have in life when you realize, oh yeah. And I realized that like the end of the decade, I was like, I haven't been watching TV in like years. I guess I don't watch sitcoms anymore. And of course now there's a lot of TV shows I do watch because we're currently living through like a golden age of television, but it's all streaming shows with humongous budgets and cinematic production quality and everything. Right. But as far as like your stereotypical old school sitcom that you would watch in the evening, no, I fell off of that in the middle of the 90s.
I'm with you. I
Yeah.
fell off TV in general in the 90s.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Ah, well.
But I do have some stuff. I don't have any honorable mentions, but I do have a category that I teased last week. If you recall last week's episode, I said that I kind of feel like there are some TV themes that kind of count as maybe a little bit cheating.
Oh, right.
Cheating in the way of like you're using an established song as the TV theme, and like how do you compare with other TV themes? It'd be like if you're having a local battle of the bands and you're reading the roster and it's like, oh, Queen is also playing this? This doesn't really seem fair, but okay, I guess they can go on at 8:15.
They're a band.
So,
Well, hey, if people are writing some good grade A theme songs, then they can compete.
then it can compete. I'm being a little hyperbolic when I say that because some of the themes, especially for last week's episode, I really genuinely love some of those songs a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just, being typical Tommy over here. But the one I have for Totally Cheating, from 88 to 93, the theme from the Wonder Years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's Joe Cocker singing A Little Help from My Friends. I mean, of course it's great.
It's great.
I mean, you kind of can't go wrong. But so we'll get into my actual list. So my number 10 for the 90s, we've got from 89 to 93, the theme from Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
A show I couldn't have given a rat's ass about when I was a kid.
Oh, God, yeah.
I never liked this show. I thought it was corny when I was a kid.
It seems so cheaply made. You know what I mean? That's the
Yes.
thing. We've gone through the
production
70s
looked
and the 80s, and then now it's like, wow, this 60s show seemed like they were on a bigger budget than this.
It
Yeah.
was like it was shot on Betamax.
Yeah, it really did. It was like, how did you manage to you couldn't find a high school to shoot in? You had you just made one out of cardboard? Like, what did you
Not a cardboard. But the one thing that I did like about it was the the graphics and the colors and the clothing, and like I love the aesthetics of that.
Yes.
I never watched a whole episode. I just would see little things here and there, but the look was fantastic.
Yeah, but let's
love
talk about that look, because there are people who were either so young or didn't exist in the 90s that have 90s nostalgia, and they, for some reason, have gotten into their heads that look represents the decade.
Oh,
It
it's
doesn't.
80s.
That is a spillover. Oftentimes, we've talked about this before on the show, the previous decade will spill over in multiple ways into the next decade, and in a lot of ways, the early 90s were basically the late 80s part two.
Yeah.
And that's why as much as I dump on the 90s, I'll find a shitload of stuff from the first few years of the 90s that I could totally get with.
Yeah.
Because it was before we got to the high 90s.
Yeah.
It was before everyone was
high
like, no,
90s.
we've always been grungy and sad, and everything is bleak. We've always been this way. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't have a fucking neon trapper keeper okay, whatever.
Yeah.
My number 9, a show that ran from 1989 till I think now, but I'm only acknowledging the 89 to 97 run, and that is the theme from America's Funniest Home Videos.
Oh, it's still on.
It's still going.
Alfonso Ribeiro's there.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is now?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the original run, 89 to 97, which had
Bob
Danny
Saget.
Tanner.
R.I.P. Bob.
And all right, so this next one is cheating a little bit, and you're going to be surprised that I'm saying this. I couldn't give a rat's ass about this show. You couldn't pay me to give a fuck about this show. From 98 to 2003, the theme from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, God.
Which is that, I think, Paula Cole song.
I don't want to wait for us to be over.
Oh, that's what that is?
That's
Okay,
what that
I
is.
didn't even know what it was until
Yep.
you guys sang it. Oh, God.
Yeah, and anytime you have a show with a boy named Percy, what the fuck was his
I
name?
don't know.
Get the hell out of
Look,
here.
I didn't make this decade, okay?
I know, I'm not mad at you.
Damn, here, really quick while I alter my worst.
My number 7, a show that ran from 1990 to 1997. This is kind of a little bit of a throwback to the great themes of yore, and that is the theme from Wings.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Wings.
I love that show.
See, I never watched
alright.
the show. The show wasn't really connecting with me, but I always thought the theme was really pretty.
It was good.
Yeah,
I
that's
was in
alright.
love with Steven Weber. I still am.
My number 6, from 1991 to 1998, the theme from Step by Step.
Oh, baby.
That's not the
When
theme
you
from
talk
Step
to
by
me, girl.
But you know what? Let's just riff on that.
Well, how did this...
Step 1. You can have lots of fun. Step 2. There's so much we can do. 3.
So what was... How did the original... How did the TV show theme go?
I don't fucking remember now.
You don't remember? Oh, see,
I don't remember.
You're calling him on his shit
See,
right
we've
here on
talked
camera.
about this before.
Yeah.
For Crystal specifically to please stop fucking doing that to me because I
Sorry.
can't remember everything. All right.
He doesn't remember the things he
Let's
likes.
expand upon this. No, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain the reason why this kind of thing happens. So, I explain. Lucy, explain.
Explain, Ricky.
Actually, I think Paul even mentioned something like this last
We
week's
talked about
episode.
this last week.
Yeah.
So we remember a lot. The three of us are pop culture addicts. We love what we love, and what we love a lot. And we have, I think the three of us all seem to have memories like a steel trap. That being said, there's just so much out there. You can't have everything constantly, immediately accessible in your brain. So when we do these episodes and we're doing our lists, be it singles or albums or TV themes or any number of things, we have to do brain dumps of everything immediately that comes to mind. And then we'll do some deep dives and look up this, that, and the other thing. And then we all have those aha moments like, oh, I used to love that. I haven't heard that in 28 years. You know what I mean? And then what happens is you put it on your list, you rank it, you move on with your day. And then by the time we shoot the episodes, I might have already forgotten how the damn thing
It's
goes.
been weeks and months.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
No, I absolutely
And then I'm
do
here
that.
struggling to go through the file cabinets in my brain to get back to that song, and I'm just like, yeah.
But if
So-
somebody plays it to you, it'll take you a split second.
A
to go, oh,
split
yeah,
second.
yeah, of course.
But
yeah.
I ranked step-by-step theme number 6 on my list for a reason, but right now, sitting here in front of you, I cannot remember how the damn thing goes.
Yeah.
When he heard it, he liked it.
I liked it. And I was like, oh, yes, of course, I love that one. So that's just how this shit works. The memory is a funny thing.
It happens.
My number 5 from 1990 to 2000, Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, God.
Yep. Yep. Wait, just skip that around. Okay. My number 4 from 1989 to 1998, the theme from Family Matters.
Oh, God.
I know these are not for you. I know that.
No, I'm
Yeah.
exactly at that age where it's
Yep,
like...
this shit missed
no.
you entirely. My number 3, I am such a sucker for this sound. From 1990 to 1994, the theme from In Living Color.
Oh.
Is that, am I mistaken or is that Heavy D? That's Heavy D,
Yeah,
right? Mm-hmm. Heavy D over a New Jack Swing beat. I'm in. Take my money.
It's good. It is good.
Sign me the hell up.
Yeah. I like it.
My number 2 from 1989 to 1999, the theme from Baywatch. And if that is not the singer from Survivor, I will eat sushi right in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even look it up. That's how certain I am. That has got to be Jimmy Jamison from Survivor.
Hey Siri,
What do you guys think? Let us know.
who sings the theme to Baywatch? Why do you keep cutting off? All right, let's
Yeah.
do it the old-fashioned way.
Siri always lets you
Old-fashioned
down
way.
when you need her.
Mine is an Australian guy.
Probably gonna have to edit this.
Baywatch theme. Let's see. Oh! I'll Be Ready by Jimmy Jamison from Survivor. Yes.
So are you eating sushi in front of us?
No.
Oh, you're not.
Because I was right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it.
All right.
Well, you know, people, if that isn't such and such, I'll eat my hat. Well, what's worse than eating a hat for me would be eating seafood. So.
Wow, so you really hate sushi.
Oh, you don't even know.
He hates seafood.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Wow, I hate it.
Oh, shit, okay.
Well, my number one favorite TV theme from the 90s, well, this show started in 1987, it ran to 1995, and this will always be firmly associated with the 90s for me, and that is the theme from Full House. A show I never got into. I couldn't stand it. I thought it was corny, stupid bullshit, but I love that damn theme.
That theme is you.
It really is.
It is you.
Hey,
it really
man,
is.
that theme is you.
You'll like this show
You'll watch
tonight,
some TV
for
tonight
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Tell us.
How you do?
The Walsh family just moved from the Midwest to Beverly Hills.
Everyone here looks like they just stepped out of a music video. I don't even have the right hair. Socially, it's really intense. You make one false move and you're history.
Now, the kids have inherited a wealth of problems,
Just gonna go back to being my old, uncool self.
and so have their parents.
If this is a day in the life of your basic Beverly Hills family, we're moving back to Minnesota.
Beverly Hills 90210 tonight.
You're really nice.
Yeah, well, I'm from out of town.
Wednesday, Mike gets stranded with
I
Julie.
hope you're going to be a gentleman tonight.
Mom, when have I ever not been a gentleman?
Growing pains. Then,
Before I knew it, Becky and I had been going steady for a full week.
Becky Slater is breaking up with you. What?
The Wonder Years, Wednesday at a special time.
Tuesday, Roseanne is so outrageous, we can't tell you what's up with DJ.
Maybe I ought to go up there.
Trust me, I don't think this is the time that a boy needs his mother.
Roseanne! Then,
Are you ever attracted to men other than Hayden?
can Christine and Hayden help save their friend's marriage?
Honey, there is nothing you can do to help these people. They're not normal.
An all-new coach, Tuesday.
All right, Crystal.
Oh my god.
You got some 90s TV shows you like?
Give it to us, Crit, though.
I got things on my show, yeah. On my list. Okay. So here are my runners up for the 90s. Oh, the 90s, yeah. Do you know why we started doing that? That's your fault. You know that, right?
Yeah, because it's Paul Stanley, but
it had specifically to do with one of Steve Teisman's shows. And he was like, come on, everybody, we're doing the 90s. And you were like, yeah, the 90s, yeah.
oh well, the 90s. That happened. Actually, I'm going to give us the origin of this right now.
Oh.
Before, and I've talked about this before, but a lot of people may not know this. Before I was doing YouTube videos, either solo or with these guys, I had an As It Should Be audio podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to do that on that. If I mentioned the 90s, I'd go, the 90s!
Yeah.
And then I remember Crystal would listen to to those episodes, and I remember her listening to the one where I said that, and her laughing, and she just thought it was the funniest thing.
It is.
And it just became a thing after
Hysterical
that.
funny, yeah. It is. It's never not funny. Okay, so here's my runners-up list. Runners up. I got the theme to Seinfeld, which is almost borderline hate it and love it.
Yeah.
Because it's so annoying. Apologies to the dude who wrote it. He follows me on Instagram. But anyway, then I have the theme to Martin. Martin! Which is another one that is like, ooh, it's a terrible earworm, but I'm into it. I don't know. Then I have the theme to Beekman's World. Anybody remember
Oh,
that?
God. I do remember that.
It was a Saturday morning show for kids, and he was this goofy, I don't know if he was a stand-up comedian first, but he's this dorky-looking guy who looks sort of like, what's his face from Seinfeld? The guy who plays Kramer, whose name...
Michael Richards.
Thank you. Looks like Michael Richards. He had this really hipster doofus hair and all this stuff. And he did science experiments, and it was so good. I love that show. This is 1990-something. I'm in my late 20s, and I would get up and watch it on Saturday mornings. That's how much I loved it. And the theme is kind of Devo-ish, but not quite. Oh, it's so great. Then I got the theme to Twin Peaks.
Ah.
Down, 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 down. was like,
okay.
ooh-wee. I can't remember his name. Italian dude. Then I have the theme to Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, shit.
I love that show. Did you watch that, Tommy?
That was weird.
It was the best. It was on the Cartoon Network late at night. It was for adults where Space Ghost hosted his own talk show. And all the characters from the Space Ghost cartoon would come on, and they were their individual selves. And the big praying mantis guy was always playing tricks on him and shit. That show is fucking hilarious.
But they would have actual humans as guests.
Yeah, and then they'd be sitting there in this cartoon thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was
so
a really weird show.
I loved it. It was great. And I don't do drugs, but everybody, yeah.
Well, you didn't have to.
I didn't have to.
You watched
yeah.
Space Ghost.
Then I got the theme to That 70s Show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which...
That is a Big Star cover.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big
by Cheap
Star
Trick.
cover by Cheap Trick. So good. And then I got the theme to, it's a tie between the theme to Law and Order. No. This is runners up. The theme to Law and Order and Law and Order SVU. Those two themes to me are like a warm blanket. Anytime I hear them, I'm automatically comforted because I'm going to watch some terrible show about terrible people doing terrible things. But the good guys
terrible.
are great. Yeah, I love it. Especially SVU. It's terrible, but it's a great show. Mike Post did both of those, by the way.
I hate Mike Post.
I gotta play these fucking songs in this show. Go back.
Okay.
Then I got the theme to MST 3000.
Oh, shit.
Mystery Science
now,
Theater.
you know,
Not
that's
too
maybe the
distant
most
future.
90s show in the history of the planet.
Yeah.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 is possibly the epitome of a 90s.
90s
it really
of the
is.
90s.
Yeah.
It really is.
So great.
Yeah.
So
Just
great.
sitting there, just shitting on everything and anything.
The
But
best.
just kind of like in that sort of, deadpan.
Yeah,
sort of
nothing
way.
matters. This is dumb. Everything's dumb.
But the theme was
Yeah.
great because it was telling a story about how they wound up there, and it's corny.
On the
and
satellite
goofy.
of love.
Yes, so good. Then I have the theme to The Critic. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Animated show?
I do remember that.
I remember that.
John Lovitz.
John Lovitz. So great. It stinks. The theme was really great. Then I got the theme to Oz. Remember Oz?
No.
It was on HBO, and it was a show about people in prison. And
Sounds
it was
uplifting.
They were in prison in Oz?
Well, the facility, the nickname for it was Oz.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was like the Oswald,
Fest.
blah 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 something. The Ozfest.
He was in
Supermax prison.
Yeah.
And so it was full of all these horrible people and horrible characters, but it was like the prison version of Homicide: Life on the Street. It was very real and very raw, and it was a big to-do because there was nudity on it, and it was just like, wow, the show was deep, really deep, but the theme was really great. Then I got the themes of the Drew Carey Show, which I love, Drew Carey Show, and Gullah Gullah Island.
Oh, was that a Nickelodeon show?
Yeah, it was a Nickelodeon show, kids show, but it was this beautiful Caribbean jam song, and it was really good. But now here's my list. All right, coming in at number 10, I got a tie. Yeah. And that tie is between the theme to X-Men and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, Buffy.
So the theme to X-Men is really great because it's just it's all instrumental. It's very spooky and ooky and creepy, and it's perfect for this show.
It's altogether ooky.
Thank you. And the theme to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I love it because it's kind of bad in a way, because it's this rock jammy thing.
Yep.
And it's not done very well.
No, it's not.
It's not performed well. It doesn't sound good, but it's just like, oh, I love it because now this really good show is coming on. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Coming in at number 9, I have the theme to Frasier. Baby, I hear the blues are calling, toss salad and scrambled eggs. It's so stupid, and he sings it. Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Did he write it?
I think he did write it, yeah. He wrote it and performed it. He has a pretty good voice. Then at number 8, even though it started in 1989, I still have, continuing on from the last episode, The Simpsons, I still had to put it on the list again because it's ubiquitous. It's The Simpsons. Then I got The Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a great rockabilly thing. You know? I love it.
Right, yeah, I barely remember. That's just, we're into the period where I'm just like, I don't know any of these shows.
Out.
I mean, I was aware of them, but I just have never watched them.
John Lithgow, Tour de Force. So great in that show. It's so fucking funny. Then I have coming in next is Little Bill. Do you know this?
Never heard of this.
Okay, this was an animated show for kids, and it was done by Bill Cosby. Boo! But it was beautifully animated and extremely well written. This little black boy in this family, he was like maybe 5 years old, I think, and he had a vivid imagination, so he would have all these adventures, and it was a lot of life lessons that didn't hit you over the head, and it had his extended family on it. It was super wholesome and super great, and just a really, really, really great show. And the theme is beautiful because Bill Cosby wrote it, and it's a jazz thing. It's good.
All right.
Then I got coming in next. I have the theme to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Do we know what number we're on here?
Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Simpsons. That was 8. X-Files was 7. Third Rock from the Sun was 6. Little Bill was 5. We're at number 4. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, man.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one of those separate the art from the artist.
Yeah. And you should watch the first episode theme is the whole thing. There's like 2 verses to it. And then after that, they only showed half of it. So watch the whole thing. It's because it's interesting. Then at number 3, I have a tie. And that is between the theme to Will and Grace and the theme to Sex and the City. I'm hearing crickets. All right, so I'll talk to you people. So the theme to Will and Grace, it's a really fantastic show, first of all. And it's very uppity and bippity boppity boopity and bubbly. And I love that. And the theme to Sex and the City... Dun 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 do 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 do. It's
Putting on the Ritz.
It's so good. It's not quite Putting on the Ritz. It's close, but it's of the time. It's very 90s in that way. Then this was very difficult. It almost was my number 1, but it's coming in at number 2 and is the theme to The Nanny.
Oh God.
Well, it's funny. I was going to say it's kind of the same type of theme.
Yeah. It's so great, and I sort of watched the show back then in the 90s, but thank you to the global pandemic, I was stuck at home, and I was like, let me give this show a second chance. Like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Let me watch this show.
So you're taking a break from Match Game to watch The Nanny.
Exactly, yeah. And I got so into it. That is one of the best TV sitcoms ever, The Nanny. And the theme was written by this woman whose name escapes me, but it's the theme song of her trajectory to get to where she was in the show.
Right.
What was she to do? Where was she to go? She was out on her fanny. It's so Broadway and dumb, and it's a great earworm. But my number 1 TV show theme song from the 1990s is the theme to Living Single. We are living single in a 90s kind of world. I'm glad I'm with my girls. Head up. What?
Is that the lyric in the 90s kind of world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never watched it, so.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the show, I just never watched it.
Yeah, because it's black, y'all, and it's black women, y'all, and black women, black women, y'all.
Also, the 90s was super into itself.
Oh,
the
way
90s
into
seemed to
itself.
think it was the final and ultimate decade.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't going to be another decade to follow.
After that, yeah. And
They're kind of right. Have there been any decades since?
Yeah. It suited the show. Queen Latifah sang it. She wrote it. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Another like warm blanket of a theme song. Every time I hear it, it makes me happy just hearing the song, and I sing along to it. And then I get to watch an awesome show on top of it all.
What more could you want?
Yeah, it's good. It's great.
Well, all right.
That's my live.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Christ, man.
Stay tuned.
Hi, it's me again, the nanny. I'm here with my boss.
We've been watching the World Series.
I've been watching the first baseman, 6'2", 180 pounds, and what a tush.
He's also a switch hitter.
Honey, don't ask, don't tell.
The Nanny premieres Wednesday, November 3rd on CBS.
Time for another strange but true Olympic flashback.
1936, Berlin. Finnish pole vaulter Lars the Stork Ullman vaults 12 feet into the air and never comes down.
Blossom returns with new shows Monday, August 10th on NBC.
Friday.
Served up to stay.
On Full House, Michelle's in hot water.
Am I in big trouble, mister?
On Family Matters.
It is your attitude that I don't like. Well, maybe I don't like your attitude.
Wow.
Urkel's caught in a family feud.
Fresh, young Balky B!
Then on Perfect Strangers, Balky and Larry, you can't touch these guys. Then it's Alex, Kate, Jack, and Charlie. Going Places is back Friday.
It is our pleasure.
Hey, Paul.
Right. What?
Do you want to talk to us about 90s TV themes?
Not really, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Not really. I'd rather talk to you about the Scorpions.
I want Scorpions! All right. Okay. I have 0 runners-up.
Oh.
But I do have a full 10 theme list.
Oh, you got a full house there, huh?
I have a full house. But not a fuller house.
A full house of hatred.
We'll go over the list. Take it step by step.
Tommy's jokes are absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Zing.
All right. Well, my number 10. My number 10, coming in number 10, airing from 1993 to 1999. The Nanny.
Yeah. So
Supper
good.
Club Jazz.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
It's so
but
great.
But Broadway, yeah.
You can hear, yeah, it's so good.
My number 9, a show that I believe you had on your 80s list, because it ran from 1988 to 1997. Roseanne.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I don't like it that much as a piece of music. I think that ended up on here because I love the show so much and I associate it with the show.
Yeah.
I had a little tougher time making this list, so I. But my number 8, Frasier,
Yes.
1993 to 2004. Now that's a full-on space-age bachelor pad music sort of jazz thing, which was huge in the 90s. That was a big thing in the 90s. And coming in number 7. Absolutely Fabulous.
No,
1992 to 2012.
Man,
yeah, that the theme song. Now, this theme song is criminally short, but it's Julie Driscoll singing Dylan's "This Wheel's on Fire,"
which
she had a hit with in the late '60s with Brian Auger and the Trinity. But I didn't know about. I didn't know about this till I was looking stuff up for this. This show. And that's how I never watched this show. I know everybody loves it, and I probably would like it if I watched it. I just never have. But the minute I put on that theme, it was like, damn.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Because I was going through everything, and fucking everything was. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. and this was so not that. I'm like, oh my god, this is going on my list. Okay.
And then I think later on, as the series went on, they played the Susie and the Banshees version.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll take Julie Driscoll. Anyway, number 6, Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, wow.
I fucking love the Beavis and Butthead.
That? Yeah.
Which ran from 1993 till forever. And Mike Judge wrote that song based on the AC/DC's Gone Shootin'.
Really?
That riff is the riff to Gone Shootin' backwards.
That's funny.
Please put a big question mark over my head.
Yeah.
Edit.
But coming in number 5,
Gone Shootin'.
Ran from 87 to 93, A Different World.
Yes.
Yeah. And I put it on here specifically because of the Aretha Franklin version. I will say, going through all these shows, trying to fill out this list, I got to the point where I was like, oh, a black cast, this isn't going to work because it's going to go... But It got to that point where every single time I ran for the football, I ended up on my ass.
Paul Bertolino in corral, everybody.
Because every theme was the same at that time.
No, I will say you do have a point.
You're completely right.
So when I played that, I was like, oh damn, this is good, and it's fucking Aretha Franklin. I'm like, yeah, that's going on my list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a black stage. Oh, okay. Forget that.
Oh no.
We're canceled. We're already canceled.
You were never picked up in the first place. How are they gonna cancel it?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, yeah.
Who cares?
All right. So number 4, Blossom. Do you remember the show?
Oh, I remember the show. I don't remember the theme.
It was Dr. John. My opinion nation.
Oh,
the sun
my
is
God.
gonna shine.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't like that one.
I love Dr. John. Yeah. I forgot.
That was one I always liked.
right.
That one.
I hate this.
Like even then, I liked that one.
I've forgotten all about that in my opinionation. I hated that. I hated that whole opinionation
Well, you know,
thing.
I was always like, is that what he's saying?
Yes.
Is he really saying that? So I had to look it up and like, oh no, that's really the lyric.
Yes, it's really that stupid. Moving on.
Number 3, That 70s Show, because Cheap Trick doing Big Star. Yeah.
Yes. Double whammy of goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Mm-hmm. And again, I talked about this on, I think it was on the last episode. I don't think it was on this one, where I was like, I had to resort to that kind of stuff because 90s. Which brings me to number 2. A show, I really love the theme of this, but I love the show even more than this song. Freaks and Geeks. Theme song, of course, being Joan Jett, Bad Reputation.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great show.
Okay, now we talked about this before. I don't remember now if you had already seen it, or did you watch it after we talked about it before?
No, I had seen it several years before we talked about it.
Okay,
but I didn't see the show at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it decades later, but God, that's a good show. What?
I have never seen that show.
Yeah, we talked about this. We totally had this whole thing.
We did have this conversation.
I remember you talking
before,
about how you avoided it because everybody was saying it's good.
And to this day, I still haven't watched an episode.
That's really a shame, honestly.
Well, I'm going to say I didn't see it when it first ran, but everybody was talking about it. It was just this thing where everybody talked about it, and I never heard one bad thing about it. And nobody did the, what? You didn't watch? Nobody did that. I just would hear everybody talking about it like it was the fucking Rolling Stones. And so one day, my roommate, John Kropp, he had the DVD of the whole run because it was only 18 episodes.
Yeah.
And I went down and I borrowed it from him, and I put it on, and I watched the first show. And I was like, well, yeah, it's pretty good, but I mean, I don't know what everybody's going crazy about. Like, it's not bad, but it's not that great. So, and then the next night, I went, I'll watch the next episode. And I watched that. I was like, oh, no, okay, all right. Mm-hmm. And I kept going, and I kept going. When the 18th episode ended, I wept.
Yes.
That show was so fucking good. The thing about it is that I think they got a certain way in, and they realized they weren't going to make it. So they gave you like 5 seasons worth of content in 18 episodes.
Yeah.
That shit just went like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how most people got hit by that show. Like, you started like, oh, this is fun, I guess.
It's okay.
And by like the end of it, you're like, how is this not going to continue?
Oh my God! Oh, this is the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of the world.
Yeah, same thing, same reaction. Yeah. I know.
And see, John had the regular set. I went out and bought the special one.
Oh, did you?
They had extra discs that came in a yearbook. It's literally a yearbook, the size and binding of a yearbook. It has full yearbook pages with everything you could ever want to know about the show, with extra discs, with every little outtake, and you name it. And and this would have been in around 2003, and I was really lucky to get into it when I did, because right after I got into it, and right after I watched the show and was just like a sworn Freaks and geek for life, the cast did a little reunion at this comedy venue where you just like, you pay, I forget how much it cost, maybe $20 or whatever. You go and they did a little Q&A. It's chairs, not everybody. It didn't have like Jason Segel, like the people who had become big stars by that point, like Jason Segel and Seth Rogen. They weren't there, but Linda Cardellini was there, Mr. Rosso was there, all 3 of the boys were there, like Busy Phillips was there. like most of the cast was there.
That's cool.
And you got to, see them do a Q&A on stage, and then afterwards they just milled about and you got to meet them all. And it's like, so getting to meet all of those guys, like fresh off of watching that, was just like,
that's too cool.
Yeah.
Did you get pictures with everybody?
I did. I took pictures with everybody.
I feel like I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I have them somewhere. I think that was from like 20 years ago, so I don't even know if I have digital copies of them.
You have them somewhere.
Yeah.
You're Paul.
But anyway. All right, so I found the photos, so I'm going to show them here. First, we have a couple of shots of everybody on stage during the Q&A. They're really terrible and they're really blurry, but I'm showing them anyway. Then here I am with Linda Cardellini, who played Lindsay Weir, and Busy Phillips, who played Kim Kelly. I knew somebody in school named Kim Kelly, by the way. And over to the far right, that is Paul Feig, who is the creator of the show. Judd Apatow produced it, Paul Feig created it. And then here we have two of the geeks. We have Sam Levine, who played Neil Schreiber, and John Francis Daly, who played Sam Weir. As you can see here, Sam Weir has grown considerably in the intervening years. And here I am with Bill Haverchuck. Yeah, that's right. Martin Starr, who played Bill Haverchuck. You can see Linda Cardellini in the background there. I think she was chatting with Busy Phillips at that time. But yeah, Bill Haverchuck. What a long hair he became, huh? And last but certainly not least, the mighty Mr. Rosso. Yeah, it's Dave Gruber Allen who played Mr. Rosso. So there you go. Anyway, that's a big, long dissertation on Freaks and Geeks, but that brings me to my number one. Oh, man, we're talking about cheating here, but this is a show that I never watched, that I've always felt like I should have watched, but this show started when I was 18, and I was right at that age where I had other shit to do. You know what I mean? When you're 18, you're not sitting at home on a Friday night or whatever night it was watching. I didn't watch primetime TV anymore. I just had other shit happening, you know? But this show was right up my alley, and I still just didn't give it the time of day. And to this day, I've never really watched it. I've seen scenes here and there. But one day I'm going to watch this, and I know I'm going to just be, like, transformed when I finally do. The Wonder Years.
Dude.
Yeah. And I know the theme song is Joe Cocker doing With the Help of My Friends, but the thing about it is that, yeah, that's a great song. It's a great song in its own right. But they couldn't possibly have used a better track for that opening theme. Yeah. It isn't just, that's a great song. Like, it's exactly the right song for the opening of that show.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
It's the ultimate cheating, honestly.
It's the ultimate
really
cheat,
is, but it's such a good show.
And also watch the reboot that starred black people. It's really good.
Right, I forgot that I remember. That didn't last long, did it? Because I remember when it started, and then last time we spoke about it was the last time I heard about it.
I think it was like 2 seasons, but it was superb. It was
right. Fred Savage was behind it, and he was the one like casting it, and he was the one, the impetus for getting it done. Yeah,
because some black people asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh shit, yeah, that's a great idea," and he did it and fought hard to get it on the air, and it didn't last that long, but it was really, really good. It was just as good as the original, sometimes better in some ways. It was fantastic.
All right, there you go.
Because it was black, y'all. It was black, y'all. It was blackity black. It was black, y'all.
People have been using one word over and over to describe a show called Freaks and Geeks. That word is best. From magazines like Time and Entertainment Weekly to newspapers all over America, Freaks and Geeks is being called the best. In fact, TV Guide named it one of the very best of 1999.
How do I get back down?
It's 1980, and this is what high school was like for the rest of us. Freaks and Geeks. Check your local listing.
Imagine 2 single parents secretly get married and then introduce their kids.
Oh my God, it's the Rat Boy.
Hey, great, you two already know each other.
Premiering in 2 weeks.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Don't you think it's a red flag that these people can just pick up and move at a day's notice?
A new family is carefully built.
Very nervous, aren't you?
Step by Step premieres in 2 weeks.
What happened? Laura Ashley come in here and explode?
Thursday, can Martin's new sneakers turn him from a super klutz into a Michael Jordan?
Guess who I am, Dina? Guess who I am, baby?
Find out on Martin. Then, only one thing stands between Kyle and a promotion.
It's your hair.
Will he make the cut?
Go old natural.
Living single. Then, Williams and Torres work undercover, but this time they'll need a really good disguise.
We are going to have so much fun.
New York Undercover. It's a night of brand new episodes Thursday.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's all New Jack does that, and it's even always the same tempo.
Yeah.
That does not sound like New Jack to me.
Really? Okay, that's what I
sounds like somebody who doesn't know what New Jack is.
Maybe I'm getting that wrong.
That's yeah.
Okay, well, that's the
I can make you and send you a New Jack City playlist, but I won't bother because you won't listen to it. So we can just fast forward.
No, I won't.
Past that entirely. And as my mom used to say when I was a kid, let's not and say we did.
Let's not and don't even pretend we did. All right.
We're back.
We are back.
We're here.
We're gonna hate the 90s.
Hating the 90s, yeah.
I wonder if I can find it in me.
Do you think?
Give it a good old try.
Give it a good old try here.
I know it was tough for you in the albums of the year and the singles of the year, but you know.
Give the old college try.
Yeah.
Come on, Tom.
All right. Well, I've got 3 runners up for worst, and then I've got a worst.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right. First runner up from 93 to 2001, the theme from Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even know.
And I didn't check this, but I am telling you, that sure sounds like Chuck Norris is actually singing his way through that himself. It is him?
That is him.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
It is him, yeah.
Okay, the next one. This is the show that I think actually started turning me off to sitcoms. Because I actually started watching this show when it first started airing, and then at a certain point I was like, this is crap. Like, I was like a couple of seasons in, and I started thinking, this is just crap.
Bad.
And I started looking at all sitcoms as being equally crappy. This ran from 91 to 1999, and is the theme from Home Improvement.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't remember it, it's just a bunch of corny for like, you know, a minute.
It was taken from his comedy routine.
Yeah.
Caveman. Yeah.
My next runner-up, a show that ran from 88 to 97, I have the theme from Roseanne.
You know what? I don't blame you.
I'm not mad at
that.
I get it.
And I'll explain a little bit why, because they've both been giving it love, and I'm giving it a lot of hate. And the reason I'm giving it a lot of hate is, even at the time, it seemed phony for me. It seemed disingenuous. It seemed like they were trying way too hard to portray some salt-of-the-earth, blue-collar Midwest family with this.
Wait, let me stop you.
This bluesy jam.
No salt of the earth was involved in that show whatsoever. They were terrible people.
But they were trying to make it seem like these were just down-home, everyday Americans. Is the way this hit me, and they're playing this. The theme was this just freaking pretentious fucking labored blues jam with that obnoxious harmonica, and they're all sitting around the table just being a real American family around the dinner table. I'm like, this just seems like bullshit.
Can't you just hear the car on cinder blocks on the line?
And it just that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like it felt like they were trying so friggin' hard, and it just seemed like bullshit to me. And I also don't like that kind of music anyway.
There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my actual worst of the 90s, a show that ran from 89 to 98. Oh boy, do I hate the theme from Seinfeld.
Yeah. It's annoying as fuck.
You know,
I agree, but
it not only is it annoying as fuck and stupid, but I cannot tell you how many times I've seen somebody playing a bass and some idiot will come along that has not a musical bone in their body. Play the theme from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Really?
Fuck you. Jump out a window.
That happens?
I see that all the time. And I'm not even. I am a recovering former bass player. I played bass as my first instrument. I was a bassist.
You mean when you were like, you're at a show, everybody's plugging in, you're warming up?
No, not at shows, but like you see, like, you know, like somebody knows a bass player, or they see somebody with a bass in their house. Like, you know. So I can't even imagine if you had an actual, like a full-time bassist on this show. You ask them how many times they've been asked to play the theme from Seinfeld, and I'm sure that you will see a faraway look suddenly in their eyes. I fucking guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I have a couple of bass players I'm going to contact now and ask them.
Ask them. I'm really curious what they say.
Oh, I wonder how many times Adam has been asked this.
Yeah, maybe.
It's going to be that, and ask them how many times they've heard that crap, and how many times they've heard some idiot say "slap in the bass." Ask them that. Ask them that.
Well, you guys don't even know how dangerously close we came to Seinfeld bass being, or was it? Did I use? Or maybe I did. I don't remember now.
What?
Being used as the soundtrack for the bumpers in our bass player episode.
Oh yeah.
Did I use that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember now. I know that I flirted with it.
I don't remember if you did.
I know I flirted with it. Well, whatever.
Because for people who don't know, that is all keyboard. There is no bass on that song. Nobody's playing a bass guitar. It's all keys. But yeah. All right, that's fine, Tommy.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I got 2, and they're equally horrible.
Horrible. Horrible.
Horrible. Bloody hell, they're horrible, they is. I hate them. And that is a tie between Mad About You and Friends.
Oh, God.
Oh, Friends.
You guys don't remember Mad About You?
I remember the show, but I don't remember the theme.
It was the piano that came.
Is that how it goes?
No. The guy singing it, it's like a typical 90s kind of jazzy, wannabe-ish sort of thing. You know, I'm mad about you.
Let me tell you something, Crystal. If there was a TV theme that was...
Tommy would love it.
I don't know. I think that'd be something I'd like to see. And then, that's the whole theme, and then I get right to the first scene.
Right in.
Today's episode of...
And then the camera pulls in, they're eating breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm mad about you. He's just, just listen to it. It's so...
Or don't.
It's so terrible. For those of you who don't remember the show, it was a huge hit. It was Paul Reiser and what's that blonde-haired chick's name? Whatever. It was awful. She was in Twister with Bill Paxton.
Oh.
What the hell's her name?
Helen Hunt?
Thank you. Yes, it was Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt as this couple going through their bullshit here in New York. It was just so bad. And the theme is just... yeah. It's terrible.
I'm going to take your word for that.
Yeah. I'm mad about you. Shut up!
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
I got some stuff. Here. Let's see. All right.
Friends.
I have 4. Friends. Now, on paper, I should like the Friends theme, but it's basically the Starbucks version of Beatley Power Pop.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
You know?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Wait, can we back up a second? On paper, you should like it?
Because it's Beatley Power Pop.
Oh.
But it's the Starbucks version that's really a god-awful, really horrible version.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
just because of what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
What it's going for is something that's for me,
you,
but
yes.
boy, do they miss the mark.
Yeah.
You know, basically.
That will not be in Paul Core Mansion.
Then we have Saved by the Bell. Oh my God, I hated that show. I hated that theme. I tell you something, I hated it at the time, but when I was putting together this list, I was kind of playing in my head and I thought, that could be one. Let me go back and watch it. That could be one that I'll go back and it'll sound way better to me now. And I went back and was like, oh God, this is fucking worse than I remember. Oh my God, this is way worse.
Ooh. Yeah.
And
too old for that.
Cops. Yes, again, because fuck that theme and fuck that show. It was still on in the 90s and fuck it. But my worst of.
Ooh, the vitriol.
The Bradys.
Oh, Jesus.
They're back again, huh?
Yeah.
Do you know about this one?
No.
Oh dude.
Tommy.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Is this the last one?
It's the last one because you can't outdo this one.
Yeah.
You think them doing a variety show where the singing and dancing is absurd. This was a short-lived show in 1990, a dramedy. The Brady Bunch cast doing a dramedy. Yes. It was... There were only 6 episodes of this show, but there were 3 different TV themes. Okay? The first one was like early 90s Knots Landing kind of vibes. And then they had like this early 90s soccer mom friendly attempt to be a bit more upbeat and rockin'. But then number 3, and it was just an instrumental version of the Brady Bunch theme, but with these vibes, right? But the third one that they did, shit, I have notes here I have to read. It's an indescribably awful dramatic ballad version with Florence Henderson on vocals and horrendous new lyrics that culminated in the ridiculous line, "That's how the Brady Bunch became the Bradys."
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrific. And all the kids are grown, right? So everybody's married, everybody has their jobs, their professions. Like Greg is a doctor and blah blah blah.
Of course, he's a doctor.
Bobby is a race car driver, and Martha Quinn is his wife.
Yeah.
Martha Quinn from MTV was his wife. And in like the first episode, he gets in a car accident and becomes a paraplegic, and that's how he's supposed to ride out the whole rest of the series.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Like the first...
Kidding me?
The first
Not
15
kidding
minutes of the episode.
Stop!
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a fake Marsha, because good on you, Maureen McCormick, for going, oh, fuck no, I'm not doing that.
The humiliation.
Yeah. Horrible show, horrible theme song, horrible version of a really not great theme song to begin with.
Yeah.
Woo. Woo.
Wow.
Woo. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
It's amazing that they just kept trying with the Brady Bunch.
Child, I don't know.
They just would not stop.
Like, who... I want to know... Well, I know. I mean, this is rhetorical. But it's like, how did any of that get greenlit? You know, like, who did they... What was the survey that they put out to ask people who wants to see a modern-day Brady Bunch in this decade and that day? Who wants to... I mean, the variety show thing, I get that, because everybody had a variety show.
Especially in the late 70s, it was all variety shows.
You know,
but the thing is, the thing is, they're kind of like, if people want the Brady Bunch to come back...
They'll say it.
Then just bring back the Brady Bunch. You don't have to turn it into this other thing. It's kind of like how... I talked about this before. Like Jefferson Airplane comes back in 1989, and they make like this 80s pop record.
Oh,
it's
I still need to listen to that.
And it's like... if you like that kind of music, you don't give a fuck about a new Jefferson Airplane album.
Right.
And if you like Jefferson Airplane,
you
that's
don't want that
not
kind
what
of
you want to
music.
hear.
Yeah, like who did you make that for?
Yeah, who did you make this
right.
for? Yeah. Who that watched dramas or dramedies in the 90s was like, ooh, I wish there was a new Brady Bunch series.
Right.
You know?
I need something that's going to be thoughtful and interesting and kind of sad Brady Bunch show.
But it was one of those things, like they had the fake Marsha. There was an episode where she had a drinking problem.
Oh, yeah.
She only had it for one episode. Well, you know, of course.
Because that's how fast you can get rid of a drinking problem.
Overnight.
But things were different in the 90s, man.
That's right.
The love of the family pulled her through.
Some tough love and some family support.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there you go. That's some shitty 90s themes for you.
Ugh.
All right. And here's some shitty 90s commercials for you.
Vote for Mike Brady.
That's what I call impartial.
No bribes get to this guy.
Maybe you can get some chocolate chip cookies, too.
He's tireless, and his loyal campaign staff is a tightly knit team.
I couldn't have had 2 better men working for me. 3 better men working for me.
Cast your vote for the Bradys.
You name the time and the place.
Friday at 8.
I could see you. Oh no, oh no. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I said I got it.
Freaks and Geeks, what high school was like for the rest of us.
Show off.
NBC Saturdays this fall.
I said I...
Wow, this is as good as it gets. Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this.
Turn Back the Clock Night continues with the premiere of That 70s Show next.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we out of here. as they say on
This is the
Fresh
end
Prince.
of the miniseries.
Yeah. Well, not quite.
No,
There's one more episode
actually.
left.
Oh, right.
A surprise bonus episode.
That's right,
that's right. Well, yeah, we've come to the end of our proper TV themed episodes, but we have one more episode. We're going to be discussing next week our favorite cartoon themes.
Yeah.
And that's that's an all-time thing. That spans decades.
Yes.
So we can avoid the 90s entirely.
If we so desire.
If we so desire.
That's not going to happen.
No? Okay, all right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, maybe consider subscribing. If you do, be saved by the bell.
Oh!
Yeah, right, yeah. And but come back next week and watch us discuss our favorite cartoon themes. All right. See ya.
Oh, yeah.
Are we ready for the 90s?
Oh, yeah. We're ready.
Is anyone ever really ready for the 90s?
No, I already paid my dues. I lived through the entirety of the 90s, and I have to keep reliving the damn things.
I lived
that's where
through
we're
the
here
entirety of the 90s.
I put the work in, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
You gotta suffer along with us.
Much like Dr. Hook, the 90s are gonna love you just a little bit more.
Oh! Hot dog water.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, all right!